Oh, hi! This is the iPod Shuffle, and it has been released by Apple 21 years ago, January 2005. And believe it or not, this unit still works. And I was able to revive it with a program that is only 12 kilobytes. Yeah, not 12 megabytes, not 12 gigabytes, 12 kilobytes. This is absolutely tiny in 2026. 12 kilobytes was tiny 20 years ago. Right now it's almost like thin air, but it helped me to transform this iPod Shuffle into a proper USB MP3 player. I don't need iTunes, I just plug and play it, use a 12 kilobytes tool from the past created by Heike Ilden, a developer that actually turned to be a CEO of a brewery, which is bonkers. And in this video, I'm gonna show you the whole process. And in the meantime, yeah, I keep rocking some of my music. Listen to this. It is absolutely crazy. Let's do this. This is the first ever iPod Shuffle released by Apple. 2005 January, so it's technically 21 years old. And in this video today, I'm gonna try to see if this thing still works, what I can do with this, and how can I use it still in 2026. And by the way, as you can see, it still has the original Apple headphones that came with it, and they're not looking great, but I hope that this thing is gonna work. So this is the unit. All right, you can see, yeah, iPod. And if you don't know, yeah, this is probably the smallest USB media player flash-based device released by Apple, and that's kind of the first gen. This is called the iPod Shuffle for a reason because, well, yeah, you can see, it doesn't really have a... What? It just came on, by the way. This is absolutely bonkers, because I didn't touch this thing for like years, and it probably still has some charge. Anyway, the reason why it's called iPod Shuffle is the fact that you just put the music here, originally with the iTunes, and then it just shuffles it for you. And that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna plug this thing into my PC. Let's see what is gonna happen. And let's see if I'm gonna be able to find any software to kind of manage my library with this thing. The reason for this video, there is kind of like a movement to just go back to, you know, MP3 or other like player-based music listening and ditch things like Spotify or let's say Apple Music or Tidal, whatever like streaming services. You probably know about its videos. And originally I wanted to buy an iPod Classic that I can use to install Rockbox because I just want to test Rockbox so much. But yeah, I'm just stuck for now with the iPod Shuffle. Anyway, let's just try to see if this thing is still alive and if we can get something out of it 20 years later. Let's do this. 1 gigabyte, right? This is how much this thing has. Let's try to stick it to my PC and see what is going to happen, because when I just press some buttons, I can definitely see that this thing powers on, or at least response. But now I'm gonna go back to my PC and see if I can find something on it, if this thing actually is operating like normal, and I'm gonna try to play some music from it 20 years later. Nothing happened on the front port, but then I put the iPod Shuffle on the back of my PC, and all the surprise, here it is. I can totally browse it. All right, let's just check something. Yeah, use space. Oh, I have almost like 1 gigabyte of music. And I even don't know what type of music and what kind of music I have. So it's very, very interesting to see what I can do with this thing. So when I go inside, there's going to be apparently the iTunes, you know, playlists and stuff like this. I don't have iTunes on my PC, or probably I have, but I don't think it's going to work with the iPod Shuffle. And then when I go inside music, I can see the music tracks. And because it's Apple, yeah, you can see it's a bit cryptic. Now I did some digging around and I came across this tool, the Heike Ilden iPod Shuffle Manager. So it's a tool, believe it or not guys, 12 kilobytes, you know, there is no joke, 12 kilobytes. Now this is really tiny. It was even tiny like 20 years ago, but in 2026, 12 kilobytes is almost nothing, like thin air. So this is the tool that does not require installation, that will scan the iPod for audio files, and it's going to manage them directly. It's absolutely crazy, and now I'm gonna test it together with you. So I also came across these forums. So apparently some other people are buying the iPod Shuffle, I guess nostalgia, or probably just breaking away and cutting the chains from Spotify and streaming services. And yeah, people are saying, hey, I have an iPod Shuffle first generation, and someone is saying, use that tool. Portable 12K app that sits on the root of the iPod Shuffle. When you launch it, it's gonna scan the entire stick for MP3, then build a compatible iPod Shuffle database and shove it where it needs to go. So it's just gonna act like a normal MP3 player without iTunes. I, by the way, have the tool downloaded and I can't wait to test it. I just scanned it for malware, so it's pretty legit. The application needs to be run from the iPod Shuffle. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna try to just copy paste this thing here and see if this is still gonna work, like almost like what, 15 years later? All right, iPod Shuffle Manager, here it is. 2005, can you imagine? It was created 21 years ago, I guess 20 years ago. And this guy, Heikki Ilnen, supported it apparently for 2 years, which is just blowing my mind. So it's telling me that I'm running a first generation iPod Shuffle. The Shuffle is off even right now. It was able to just check the option that I'm using because the iPod Shuffle has basically 3 options. Off, and then on, play track after track, and then of course shuffle the track. And right now I'm just gonna like do the refresh. All right, so the volume is here, also the volume level is here. So now I came up with a more devious plan. I'm gonna go inside my iPod and I'm gonna select all the music that is inside and I'm just going to transfer it back to my PC. Then I'm going to delete everything on the iPod, absolutely everything. I'm just gonna format that thing and I'm gonna put all the music back and I'm gonna relaunch the tool. And let's see if something is going to work, like if this thing is going to really play or not, because if this is a normal iPod, yeah, you cannot really do this. But provided this tool works, I should be getting some playable music. Let's do this. And in the meantime, I have a pretty good feeling about it because I entered the iPod control folder and inside, apparently where my music is, next to it, there is another folder called iTunes. And inside iTunes, guys, I can see that the iTunes DB has been updated from now. Now I can see 2026, 26th of February. And what is interesting to see is that I have some files from back of the 2022. What the hell is this? So apparently I used this thing back in 2022, of course, without having any kind of recollection. And then I used it 2026, 2027, 2029, and then October 2024, right? So I guess with all the years, like this thing has been just sitting in the closet. Anyway, I'm still copying over my music. I'm going to format that thing using FAT32 because this is what iPod understands as a file system. And then I'm gonna try to put some tracks and see if this thing is gonna work. Really can't wait to see what is gonna happen. Can I really finally break the golden chain of Spotify? Well, let's see. Alright, all the music has been transferred and now it's time for me to format that iPod. Alright, here it is. I don't really feel quite comfortable with this. But anyway, I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna click Format Partition. Let's keep FAT32. Let's do this. I'm gonna hit Apply. And everything is gone. Here goes nothing, right? Congratulations, yeah. Here goes nothing. My iPod is right now officially brand new, mint in a box, right? You can see so much free space, right? You can probably use this thing as a USB stick that has a bonus add-on being an MP3 player. Why not? So, what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna copy this crazy good application. 12 kilobytes, guys. 12 kilobytes. This is absolutely nuts. This is bonkers, I can tell you. All right, so I'm just gonna copy this. Right now you can see we don't have anything on my iPod. Okay, so what I'm gonna do right now, let's try to just copy this folder. I don't even know what this music is. It could be anything. It could be some nice drum and bass, maybe some jungle, maybe some god trance, some psychedelic, maybe some, you know, dark stuff like some black metal. Ooh, God forbid. Of course, I'm a fan of black metal. In the meantime, I'm gonna share something very interesting with you. So apparently it seems that this guy created a very nice player that I probably used back in the days. Last update was from 2007, again created by Heikki Ilinen. I think I'm saying the name correctly, I hope. So he created this Apollo player and I asked Gemini some stuff around this guy, like, hey, where can I find this guy? What are his current projects? And according to Finnish news sources, it seems that Heikki Ilinen left a successful career as a software coder to pursue his passion for brewing. So it seems he co-founded the Fat Lizard company with, I guess, another person, Tuomas Koskipa, right? So now they do beer, which I think is kind of cool, like it's such a crazy story, right? But apparently he was the CEO of Fat Lizard from 2014 until 2020, and he remains one of the key people and founders of the company. And even in brewing, he has maintained a coder's mindset, with the brewery focusing heavily on technical skill and precision in their equipment and processes. This is absolutely bonkers, but anyway, I am now still copying my music folder here. This is the tool, and it's going to be interesting to see what is going to happen. So the moment I click refresh, the tool should generate a whole new iTunes DB. And this is why actually this solution is so clever and so efficient, because it simulates the whole process of you using iTunes and getting your MP3 files or your music directly into iTunes. But you don't need to have the whole bloated iTunes experience, which probably will anyway not work right now. You have to go and dig like an old iTunes version. So with this tool, pressing the refresh button should get me the database, and this is now the moment of what? True. All right. So I'm gonna press refresh. What the hell is happening here? iPod control. This was not there. So now, yeah, I have the iTunes folder. Oh, all right. iTunes database. This is so bonkers. You know, I'm just gonna try to open this with Notepad. I want to see if I'm able to. Nah, not with this. Anyway, but now, guys, the second big test for me is gonna be to eject this and hopefully try to play something with this and see if this thing really works. Let's do this. Hitting the eject button. And also, yeah, oh my god, iPod Shuffle could not eject it because it's in use. All right, sir, sorry, I'm gonna close up this window just like that, and I'm gonna try again. Maybe now? Here we are. Let me take the stick. Here we are, this is the iPod, so I have switched it off. So now I'm gonna turn it on to, let's say, the second setting, which is a bit cumbersome because it doesn't really operate that flawless. And you can see I have a green light here. When I press this battery button, right, the green light lights up. So now I'm gonna take these very, very old, oh my god, and crusty headphones, original by Apple. This is the right one. You can see even with a headset, so crazy. And I'm gonna stick them here. And I'm gonna try to enjoy the original iPod Shuffle experience. So I'm gonna put this here. What is gonna happen for now? Nothing. Clicking the play button, still nothing. All right, one more time. No, come on, man. Holding it. So my gut feeling is that the battery died. So yeah, I'm gonna use this box here. This is gonna make my MP3 player so big, but nevertheless, I'm gonna hook it up here. All right, now it's powered on, but can I play like this? All right, turning it off and on, and oh, wait, yeah. This is some Christmas music. I mean, these headphones are anyway crap, so let me just remove the headphones, guys. I'm gonna hook this up to my PC. You can see this is now blinking. One more time. Oh my god. Yeah, I can hear music. Can I just go to the next track? Oh yeah, I can. Sound louder. All right. Yeah, no clue. Next track here, please. Another nice track. What is this?
Your loving concerns me.
What the heck is this? All right, I don't have a clue, guys. Don't judge, please. Some nice music. Now the big question is, can this play without the battery? Because, you know, I didn't really charge it for so long. Oh, magic! So the battery works. All right, let's try one more time. Yeah. Not sure what this music is, but I liked it 20 years ago. This one here now. Oh! I know, this was Underworld. This was Underworld, I can tell you. I can tell you. Makes me happy, guys, that I can now use this thing 20 years later. I'm gonna just... Oh, man, I can see, by the way, yeah? You can see the battery had enough charge, which is kind of great. If I put like this, right? Yeah. Battery seems to hold some charge 21 years later. Some jazz music. We have jazz music, we have electronica music, we have some bangers. Alright, this is it, guys. I was able to confirm that this thing is still alive, and I was able to revive it using this absolutely cool tool, only 12 kilobytes by Heike Illen. So man, if you're out there and you're brewing your beer, just please have the best beer ever and just enjoy everything you're doing, because this is such a great tool, and this really transformed this thing by just being e-waste to a usable MP3 player. And again, I'm gonna just keep this in my pocket and listen to this. Stay safe, USD over and bye.